Welcome to professional golf, the world's most stressful occupation, but it's still doable. To be successful at the highest level of our sport, you need to draw on all your golfing experience, pay attention to details, practice, and do everything with purpose. It's about being competitive, passionate, confident, and mentally tough. Before we get to what's needed on course though, let's look at the all-important circumstances of what influences professionals off it. Pro golfers have so many balls to juggle, from dealing with drama in family and personal relationships, to selecting and communicating with coaches, to finding a good facility where comprehensive practice and challenging play can be accomplished, to long hours on the range and course, to selecting tournaments to compete in, to registering for tournaments, to travel arrangements, to travel time, dealing with loneliness, to financial concerns, to fatigue. And if there's success, add on communication with sponsors and media obligation. Overall, it's a lot. And for most players, it's all way too much. It's the reason that as professionals advance and accumulate money, they hire experts to help them. Even if you're not competing all over the world, off-course matters can be draining, and they're usually your biggest obstacle. Damage can be caused by things like a boyfriend, girlfriend, or spouse who doesn't understand what you're going through and who says and does things that hurt. Coaches who don't have time for you, who give you short shrift, or even worse, who give you bad advice. Not knowing where you're going to get money to pay your next tournament entry fee. Traveling long distances and not making the cut. Being so tired it's hard to get out of bed. Most people focus on the glamorous side of competitive golf, but it can be enormously stressful. Studies show that it can elevate heart rate and anxiety while lowering self-esteem. Significant stressors are generated by a desire to win, desire to advance to the next level or become exempt, finding a good caddy who's willing to endure all the ups and downs, dealing with investors and supporters, instant scoring such that supporters know where you stand on the leaderboard before you do, a shot becoming viral even before you finish your round, financial struggle, logistics struggle with flights, cars, hotels, and food, and dealing with new people in differing circumstances each week. There's no silver bullet to resolve all the off-course strife, but you need to be vigilant and address each issue step by step in the best way possible. Remember, it's your career that's on the line. The nature and extent of the problems that develop, as well as possible resolutions, are so expansive that dealing with all of them is far beyond the scope of what I can address here, but I will go into a few topics. Frequently, you should touch base with your coaches and caddy. They care about you and respect you, and you need to show them that you're appreciative. 2, 3, or 4 heads is always better than one. Allow diverse perspectives to be aired so you can identify all issues and options for action and then make the best decision. It's your job as the leader to get everyone pulling in the same direction. Teamwork is helpful in improving communication and efficiency, identifying responsibilities, fostering support, exchanging thoughts, encouraging creativity, reconciling new information, and reducing stress. You should always be drawing out the talents and strengths of everyone on your team, because of course it benefits you. If issues arise, identify them quickly and resolve them. For instance, if someone craves recognition, give it to them. In the end, no matter what happens, final decision-making responsibility lies with you. Don't try to blame missteps on a caddy or a coach. You're the CEO of your golf business. The player-caddy relationship is unique. It's more like a marriage than anything else. You spend so much time together before and after the round, strategizing and practicing. And you work 4 or 5 hours on the course collaborating. And then you often eat and travel together. It's a huge commitment. So you need to find a caddy with good skills who you can get along with. You'll want one who will appreciate your goals, understand your game, optimize your mental state, help you focus on the shot and matter at hand, minimize distraction, and be pleasant to be around. Your partnership with your caddy is collaborative, but there's a big power imbalance. Because as I said, you're the CEO of your golf business and you make the decision. Caddies are subordinate. And like any subordinate, they worry about job security. They realize that they're the first to go when a player is having difficulty and wants to change things up. So work to make your caddy feel comfortable and secure. Of course, without providing any guarantee of employment. Effective ones can make a huge difference in your pursuit. Everyone is different in terms of energy level for competing. Remember how you felt after taking a hard test in school? Playing a 4 to 5 hour round under tournament conditions can have the same tiring effects, and then multiply it by a 4-day event. So how many weeks can you compound it consecutively? When do you need a rest, and how long should it be? Some players like Sungjae Im can compete almost every week. Last year, he entered 36 events on the PGA Tour. On the other hand, top players like Jack Nicklaus and Tiger Woods competed on average only 12 to 16 times each year. I can't tell you where your equilibrium lies. You'll need to experiment and find it. I can say, however, that my experience with professionals just starting out is they're so eager to be successful that they'll usually play too frequently, beyond their tolerance level, and it drives down results. Generally speaking, it's better to be prepared for a tournament than to just run from one to the other. There's a reason Nicklaus and Woods didn't compete often, but they were still the best. Wherever you go as a professional golfer, make connections and network. Engage with everyone you meet, from caddies of other players to tournament officials to spectators. You never know when a connection will help you. For example, someone may be able to get you in touch with a new sponsor or help you enter a tournament that could propel your career forward. Life and golf are about marketing yourself. Don't miss a chance to build your brand. If contacted by the media, you need to be open, honest, and genuine. But only say what you're willing to see printed in a headline. There are no takebacks. You're 100% responsible for what comes out of your mouth. Be certain to come armed with stories about you and your play, emphasizing examples that cast you in a positive light. Know your messaging. Have 1 or 2 themes you continue to return to as a touchstone. Always deliver your messaging regardless of the questions. In advance, ask yourself what the worst questions are and develop answers. Keep responses short and simple. Don't say anything off the record. Make eye contact. Understand that your posture and facial expression are key. Speak with a smile. Be in control. Never lose your cool. Be confident you're a professional. Challenge inaccuracies, as a lie unchallenged becomes the truth. Don't overestimate the reporter's knowledge of you and your play. When appropriate, be sure to express gratitude to tournament officials or spectators and acknowledge the good play of competitors. If you get an unexpected question, take a deep breath and gather your thoughts. And watch your interview to identify your strengths and weaknesses and learn from them. Remember, businesses pay tens of thousands of dollars for seconds on a television ad, and you're getting that time for free. Make the most of it. More and more families with athletes are ditching vacations and instead traveling to a family member's sporting event for entertainment. And it's even more likely to happen when a relative is a professional golfer competing in a cool city. From your standpoint though, when the clan arrives, you may find that they want to be entertained, and they look to you as the master of ceremonies. After all, you compete every week and you know the ropes. Your family may distract you by asking you to join them at nice restaurants, maybe taking a movie, see the sights. Meanwhile, you're preparing for a big chance to advance your career. An occasional break from golf with your family or friends is good to clear your mind, but you simply can't give them a huge amount of your time. Preparation and rest are too important. So, you need to plan and act affirmatively, scheduling well in advance so relatives have fun things to do. Or alternatively, they could come watch you practice, but you need to let them know it may be lengthy and not very exciting with various weather conditions possible. If pre-scheduling entertainment doesn't work, more drastic steps maybe need to be taken, like calling a family meeting or dealing directly with individuals who are creating tension. Don't be afraid to be open and direct with them. Communicate that you want them to enjoy their time with you, but you are pursuing your occupation and you need their support. Golf is such a wonderful sport because there are civilized rules of decorum. You can interact positively with competitors. You're not blocking and tackling them or trying to knock them out. There's plenty of opportunity in professional golf for a lot of players to be successful. You can and you should build lifelong friendships through golf. Having friends at tournaments can reduce levels of stress. Good ones will even console you after a tough round. My advice is to put yourself out there and try to make as many friends as possible. When you find someone like you, pair up with them in practice rounds, eat meals together, and save money by sharing hotel rooms. My only word of caution is that if the friend really needs to be one, don't keep engaging with someone who isn't helpful. Understand that they're not a friend if they only want to hang out when it's convenient for them. They take from the relationship but don't give. They talk badly about everyone, they judge you, they demean or embarrass you, and they're not happy for you when you do well. If the person isn't going to support you and be loyal, they're not a friend, so stay away. Any player who's away from home for an extended period can generate feelings of loneliness, and they're exacerbated if you're not assertive in meeting people. Studies show that loneliness actually manifests physically in inflammation in the body, which inhibits the swing. Here are my suggestions. Take it slow. Learn to be comfortable in your own company. Make new connections. Try to be open to people you know. Try not to compare yourself to others. Take a step back from social media. Spend time in nature and take yourself on a date to a cool place. It may take some time, but you should be able to work your way out of loneliness. Fatigue in golfers is usually caused by playing too many tournaments, the wrong type of diet, long periods without rest or recovery, lack of hydration, overtraining, or increased stress. You should ensure that you're eating reasonably healthy, are drinking water, and on hot days you're consuming electrolytes. And if you're not getting enough rest or overtraining, you need to adjust. Everyone has different needs, so be sure to check with your healthcare provider. The biggest change from what was available to players when I competed just a few years ago to today is the application of neuroscience concepts. As we discussed in previous section for expert players, it's the new frontier in golf and really overall human performance. There have been many helpful neuroscience discoveries over the past 10 years, and each month there player more. Most impact golf performance directly, and they're almost totally overlooked by coaches. Understanding application of neuroscience in golf can be your competitive edge, but it needs to be balanced with traditional golf psychology. There's some overlap and a good bit to learn, but it's time well spent, as it's enormously helpful towards understanding your reactions and behaviors. We ask that you please review our video on expert golfers as well as ones on neuroscience, golf psychology, and mental toughness. I think you'll find them to be a big help. The object in golf, like other sports, is to win. When we say a player beat himself or herself, we're talking about the thoughts and actions preventing solid performance. You end up straying from the process that got you where you are. Your muscles may tense up, your coordination may decline, and you may slip into anxiety. Poor shots and high scores result. And then a spiral downward continues off the course as despair and low self-esteem set in. Unfortunately, golfers are especially vulnerable to attaching self-esteem to their performance because they often believe they should have scored lower, and they think that they're judged by everyone. But they shouldn't have such self-destructive thoughts. It's not all doom and gloom. No one has ever achieved anything worthwhile without overcoming adversity. You just need the tools to do so, which include preparing by taking care of your responsibilities on and off the course. You need to be fresh mentally, physically, and tactically. Using mental toughness techniques to set lofty goals and recover from setbacks. Becoming negative about mistakes, poor performances, and losses does nothing but weigh you down and hold you back from achieving. If not so good things occurred, they're in the past. Forget them. Remember, reacting correctly to things not going your way can turn around momentum and actually propel you to new heights. How many times have you heard about a player who missed several cuts in a row and then rose to a win? Tell yourself the following at least once a week. I am human and I mess up. Mistakes are always worse in my mind than in the view of others. I choose not to replay mistakes over and over. I learn from them and then release them. I'm committed to attaining my golf goals, and I know my path to victory starts with positive thinking. Dealing with scoreboards. Some players want to know where they stand, so they watch scoreboards, while others keep their head down and play without distraction. Again, you need to figure out what's best for you. Since you don't see what other players are doing, check out the scoreboard might cause surprise. Be prepared and remember the alarm it generates may be for naught if the competitor who's currently ahead of you makes a triple bogey on the next hole. If you want to look at a scoreboard, do so with your normal curiosity. Accept it as information about that moment in time and don't give it too much credence. Play your cards close to your vest with playing partners and don't react to scores positively or negatively. When I was in high school, I traveled and competed in golf a good bit, and I saw players being disappointed by coming up short by a shot or two, and it also happened to me. However, I didn't fully appreciate the narrow margin between success and failure until I got to college. It was there that I realized one shot can mean a lot over a tournament or even an entire season. When I was a sophomore at Duke, I made All-American status, but I missed it my junior year by one shot. Yes, one shot better in any of the 14 tournaments would have given me the status I wanted. My point in mentioning it, of course, is that in competitive golf, everything matters, and consequently, you need to leverage all performance aspects to gain a competitive edge. It's easy to get conditioned that winning is difficult, and likely it won't occur because the probabilities are against you. After all, most tournaments have 156 players, and of course, that's a large number to beat. But there are a few things you need to understand about the odds of winning. When I started out in pro golf, a coach who had taught players on the PGA Tour for many years told me that at any tour event, 1/3 of the field plays well, 1/3 plays average, and 1/3 plays poorly. He went on to explain that that is a formula he has seen play out in every event for years, and my experience confirmed it. So if you follow the performance techniques we've outlined and play well, you should be in the top third or top 52 of the field. As we discussed, most players suffer from mind wander, limited attention span, and other issues, and as a result, they beat themselves. So that cuts the field from 52 players in half to 26. Being in the top 26 gets you into contention, which is what it's all about, and 1 in 26 is good odds. Just a quick word about being in the competitive mix. That's what we all work so hard to accomplish, and it's so much fun having a chance to win. You'll find that your senses sharpen, and you'll be more comfortable than you anticipated. There's one potential neuroscience problem though, the release of adrenaline. If adrenaline is released, likely it'll make you feel stronger, but on the other hand, it could also speed up your heart rate, breathing, swing, and walk. As you know, a faster swing under pressure, unfortunately, is a shot multiplier. So pay attention to your tempo and breathing. If you find yourself moving faster, breathing differently than normal, or sense your swing is off rhythm, do two things. Conduct a reset by closing your eyes and breathing deeply. And when you open your eyes, briefly move them a couple of times horizontally. And take slow, deep breaths when walking as well before you hit shots. Doing these two things will help you regulate your heart rate, relax your muscles, and calm your mind. And ultimately, all that means means you'll be in a better position to score well. So don't let large fields or comments about long odds get you down. If you follow our performance techniques and execute well, the odds of winning are great.